Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you happen to be watching. This is Risco in Osaka, coming at you with some Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. What was that talk about doing Risk of Rain? Nothing, I mean, with Risk of Rain 2, that game doesn't even exist. Wow, that was really weird. Don't know what was going on with that. That got no idea. I'll have to. Not that they would necessarily listen to me, although I think Hopu does seem to be fairly good about listening to player feedback. But that was weird. Like, I was worried a little bit at first that it was actually the controller that was busted, but buttons seem to be working for everything else. Anybody who dropped back in, thank you. I guess Risk Rain 2 is off the account. A fun fact, you're not showing up my active followed accounts on Twitch app, assuming because of shenanigans with Risk Rain 2. Possibly. Maybe I'll toss out another tweet. Not really sure. But, maybe, yeah, we'll do that. Weirdness. Hive, it's so good to see you as well. Kronos and Black Lamb, if you're still around. I know Black Lamb was having a little bit of trouble, of finding the stream for some reason. Also, but, yeah. Yay! Way to go, weirdness. We love it. Let me just quick put a spot in here, just for a new heads up. Hello, CD book. I don't need you flipping open on my keyboard. Actually, boy, AB plus, because Risk of Rain is broke. What I just could things like stop being weird? That would be cool. I would be okay with that. It's obviously because I didn't do my gungeon prep run before the stream. Clearly. Yeah. How is everyone? Better than yesterday, Hive. I'm really sorry if I scared folks yesterday. I didn't mean to do that. I was kind of worried. I just had a bit of a breakdown. But today is better. Although I took a nap, I intended to wake up around like 6 so I could make dinner. And I woke up, I felt good. I felt pretty refreshed. It was like good sleep. And it was bright sky, and I was like, okay, let's do this food thing. And then it turned out to be like 7:30 at night. So that was a thing. It's because I haven't gone through my list of 300 names to cull any repeats. I saw the things that you drew and uploaded, Kronos, and I'm liking them. Buttons! Thank you, Buttons. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. I try, like, as best as I'm able. Sometimes it doesn't work out as well as other times. But today's been an okay day. The sleep felt wonderful, to be honest. And I saw Luvna's stream. And I wasn't expecting that, because I think Luvna tends to stream at times that I am definitely not online. But this was like a weird one. It was, I think, like 1 in the morning for them, maybe? Which put it in afternoon for me, so that worked out. Sleep can be good. I posted some old art from 2016 Kazi's Discord if you want to have a look. Was it the lizards? Because I like the lizards. They were very cute. What are vector layers? I do not know. Hive? What did I miss? New drawing came with the revelation as I found out how vector... Okay. Wow, sound effects are really loud. Why are the sound effects so loud? We'll fix that once we get into the run. This is actually a semi-new file. From maybe... Time doesn't work anymore. I have not, I'm not familiar with the concept of time, but I think this was like about 2 weeks back. And we're already maybe 3/4 of the way through the file. Is it... It was between Persona 5 Royal and Disgaea 5, where I really needed something to eat up as much attention as possible. So I was like, let's just do a completely fresh Isaac file, because that's the thing that normal, well-adjusted people do. Still haven't unlocked the Lost, still haven't unlocked Forgotten, and Keeper. We haven't unlocked Keeper yet either. Probably not going to do those on this run, but it's like this magic layer that lets you edit the lines and resize them while maintaining the quality. Oh, that's kind of neat. It treats your lines as vectors instead of rasterized lines. I think rasterized is a neat word, and I would love the opportunity to say it more. Oh, before... Let me just... I gotta throw a quick shout to, just to Black Lamb, in case, she didn't realize that we're back on. Us back on again. Why do I have on twice in that sentence? There we go. My high school photo teacher would say raster-sized. I mean, I like that. I sent the Huntress videos to LSRS. I tried using as many tricks as I could as Huntress on controller, obviously, so you might be able to pick up a few techniques. I will check those out. I will definitely check those out. Now, let's see. We haven't done Eden on Greedier on this file, so why not? Aside from the fact that I just kind of hate greed mode. I mean, I don't hate it. It's not bad. It's just, it's a lot. We'll give one run at Greedier. We'll give it one shot. Also, oh my god, they started us out with 1 freaking health? Why would you do that? Rabbits! It is so good to see you. I hope that you are doing very well. That life treats you with gentleness. Alright, so we're at 2 health. That's not so bad. It's not great. We've got Zako-chan, and Zako-chan is not... I mean, I love Zako-chan, but she's not the, perhaps, greatest starting item that we could possibly have. Definitely rude. Very rude. Gonna be using some Mom's Bra action, which is kind of gross. Better than Mom's Pad, but even still. Just to kind of give a heads up. Eye meat update. Tell us your eye meats. Tell me that they're healthy. Tell me that they're healthy and not causing you any pain. Oh, crumbs. Oh, double crumbs. I did not even notice you. Oh, this is not going to go well. Whoa, this is going to go terribly. I can't hit anything. Eep. Eep, op, orc, according to George Jetson, that means I love you, which is true, but at the same time, I think it's a string of nonsense words, so... Oh, come on! Oh, fudge! Bugger. Screw greedier mode. Clearly we're not in the right mindset to do greedier mode today. That's okay. So, went to an appointment the other day. I was hoping the answer would be keep using the ointment and it'll get better over time. This doctor is different from the one that prescribed the ointment. Ooh, like, already this story is sounding not great? Almbo? Do we really want to do Almbo? Azazel through the chest. Wait, is that the chest or is that the... Yeah, it's a chest. But instead I was told to stop using the ointment, use a different medicinal cream, and there's an appointment for a skin doctor. That's a lot, Kronos. Did they say why? I mean, hopefully the ointment that you'd been prescribed wasn't dangerous, right? Lucky Foot. We're okay with Lucky Foot. It's not a great item, but it's not a terrible item. I would like health. Health would be good. So as expected, the usual annoying symptoms are slowly seeping in, and the cream is a bit less comfortable, and was told if the cream doesn't take effect within 5 days, I'm gonna have to do an immediate checkup. Dogs and fish. Kronos, this is just getting to be a lot? Hopefully this new cream will do it for you. Yeah. Spiders. Honestly though, did anyone ask for spiders? Not me. I distinctly asked for no spiders. Demon baby, that's I mean, that's gonna be the one that does it for us. That's gonna take us all the way. Oh, we do have bombs. Good, good. I shouldn't rag on Demon Baby, by the way. Demon Baby's actually pretty cool. I agree, Hive. So. Double so. Oh, you... Deep Healing Breath. It died. It's weird, Black Lamb. The O button doesn't work. And the O button is the way that you trigger menus, so it's kind of a problem. We're not sure what the issue is, and apparently it's not an issue that other folks are having, so question marks? Oh, this is a run. This is a whole run. Well, let me kill Pin and pause things. That's probably the best course of action. Range is nice. We can actually take this duel with the devil, but I'm not gonna. Just in case we can get a Mega Satan run. It makes me sad. I really wanted to see a reaction to Sky Meadow 2.0. I would love to show everybody that reaction, but gonna have to try to debug what's going on. Question marks, Hive? Like, all of this is in the background for me. The PS4 just does what it does, and I accept that. Never had Choco Cornets, but I have this lovely Honey Castella as an alternative. Baby Castella are so good. I love Baby Castella, and I haven't had one in forever. Because I haven't been to a Matsuri in forever. Yeah. That's the weird thing. It's like, the controller's working fine in the XMB. It's working fine here. It was working fine when I played Disgaea this morning, so... It seems to be very much a Risk of Rain thing. But Hive, I bought chocolate cornets for you too. Thank you so much, Black Lamb, for seeing to the chat's need for pastry. Because we all need pastry every now and again. I have water in a bottle, does that count? I mean, it could. I'm willing to accept it. Although I'm not the final arbiter of pastries. So there may be like a pastry council that argues against that point. Now, we do need to find a bomb. A bomb diddy bomb to bag the dag diddy? Mostly because we might run into an angel room. And that would be pretty kill. Petty! How you doing, yo? It is a pleasure to see you. Risk of Rain 2 broke for some reason. Still haven't figured that out. So we decided to do some Isaac, and my Isaac skills may have also broke, so like that's a thing. But I hope that you're doing very well. Mecha Daisuke. Well, like, I mean, that's, you know, when you're talking, when you're tossing like a mecha on top of the Daisuke, then that's like it's true at that point. Oh, for fuck's sakes! What is it? Because I haven't played Isaac in a while that the run is like just let's punish Isko? Cause Isaac, I'm so sorry, baby. It's not that I'm cheating on you, I thought we needed an open gaming relationship. Red Magnus has got these pecs that go for miles. I'm not really big on the muscles, but I do like Red Magnus a lot, so... He's got big himbo energy. In the good way, not in the bad way. No trip to Japan is complete without some cornets. Along with takoyaki and or katsudon. Where are you buying your cornets in Japan, Hetty? I swear I've never seen one. Now granted, I'm not like searching for cornets, but I've not run across them. I did have takoyaki and kitsune udon. Kitsune udon is really good. Now I'm kind of wanting that. It's no gonna happen because I have food in the house. Oh, come on. Isaac, what? Isaac, what? Why? Why? Various chocolate baked goods too. I mean, the chocolate it's a substitute. Usually, konbini have them if you're there before they sell out. But they don't beat the ones in the bakery, and I know a good one right outside of Ikebukuro Station. Now, it is true that I don't generally go to bakeries, so... Mostly because I find that the bakeries stock mostly white bread. And I am white bread. I don't need more white bread. Fox udon. It's really good. Like, what is the kitsune udon? It's usuage tofu. It's like a really thin fried tofu that goes on as a topping. And it's really, really yummy. I want kitsune udon, my friends. Lol, that's just udon with tofu. Ah, I'm in Japan having kitsune udon. According to folklore, kitsune like fried tofu, hence the name. This is true. The petty has got the lore here. This run is so buggered. There is nothing good about this run. It's really good, Kronos. Like, it's not something I have an awful lot. I don't have a lot of udon. But it's kind of like your standard cheapo udon. And it's so yummy. I'm gonna take Canada and push it next to Japan. Please do. That would be, I mean, I would be okay with that. We'd be able to visit, like, much more often. And by much more often, I mean a number of times greater than 0. Oh, God. What is this run? This is terrible. We're working out the bad luck before we can get to the good luck, because I don't know, did I punch a baby in a past life? It's possible that there was baby punching going on, and this is what I deserve. I should point out, just on the off chance that somebody drops in unexpectedly and doesn't, like, know, it's just a bit. I've never punched a baby. I wouldn't dream of baby punching. It seems like a terrible thing to do. What am I missing? Petty's also always very wise in the ways of knowledge, and I'm very glad I get to witness that. Yes, yes. Petty's got it going on. Oh, crumbs. We're slower. That's a good thing to know. Alright. Does Isaac need to be a shump? Because I think Isaac doesn't need to be a shump. Hold on, there's so much stuff I'm missing. I've had a pretty authentic udon at a Japanese cuisine. It ruined all the other udon for me because now I know how real udon tastes. It feels. Oh, we're not gonna do a Mega Satan run, are we? No, we're not. Like, this run is too fucked. We're gonna have to nail it up. I can also drop wisdom, but sadly only for games I play. You know, I bet, Kronos, you've probably got, like, a storehouse of wisdom that maybe you're not recognizing. Just because it hasn't been called on yet. I got that feeling. Like there'll never be another. I got that feeling like I can't stop winning? Also, Mike Patton lied to me? Cause I ain't got that feeling. That's not a feeling I got. But yeah, having been to Japan, I'm somewhat afraid of having sushi in Belgium again. Fair. Although, I was, like, kind of surprised when we were in the States. The supermarket sushi was actually not that bad. And it's not like my folks live in a particularly cosmopolitan place, so it's possible. Lol, try being me trying to find Indian food that tastes like back home. Hive. Although, I mean, I would guess that, like, in Japan, probably, you weren't, like, going to a lot of Indian restaurants, but if by chance you did go to an Indian restaurant in Japan, did you find the flavor to be somewhat similar? Because all the Indian food that I've had has been here in Japan. Indian restaurants were not a big thing in Milwaukee in the late 90s, early 2000s. I like it, but I couldn't speak to the authenticity. Oh, wait, no, wait. We want to give all the money to Bumbo. Because Bumbo's gonna save us? I almost stretched that into a save me Meat Boy bit. Except I realized, thankfully, at the last minute that Save Me Bumboy would have a much different reading. So we're just not gonna do that. It's not gonna go with it. Although I have to say that the Power of Meat is an actually really fun song, and I do recommend it. It's quite enjoyable. It's like way more fun than Black Parade, so and there's that. I insisted on not eating Indian food in Japan so I could eat Japanese food instead, like baked goods. Okay, I mean, I wouldn't push you to do it by any means. Oh, fudge. Yeah, okay, that was gonna happen. That was also not a good idea. When I first came to Japan, and I wasn't eating any meat for reasons. Oh, there's always more tea. Kronos, there's always more tea. Indian was like the only food that I could reliably eat at a restaurant for my first year or so in Japan. But again, it's like I can't really speak to how much the recipes have been changed for a local audience. I accidentally ended up having Cambodian food for the first time in Japan. Really then? I mean, I've had Cambodian food like in Cambodia, and I enjoyed it, but I don't know that I've ever seen a Cambodian restaurant in Japan. Do we want to go with Mom's knife? Fuck it, why not? Let's just, dude, we're gonna knife it up. I'm not having doner kebab in Italy again after trying some German veggie doner. A best kebab is doner family kebab. That's a terrible joke, and I need to stop saying it, but I love it. Mostly because the Donner Party were like a bunch of douchebags, and really, they probably deserve to resort to cannibalism. I've been doing a silly involving my mailbox for a few days now. Okay. Is this like a physical mailbox, or is this like an online mailbox? And I'll let you know, Kronos, when the care package is in the air. Certain things kind of came up, and I want to wait just to be safe for my stimulus check to come in before sending it off. But I'm not going to make you check your mailbox every day. That would be really terrible. My friend's boss at the time invited me over to the end of the year company dinner. Upstanding guy, okay. And he had picked out a Cambodian restaurant that was near the office, and that was that. Apparently we got a new key for the lock. So naturally I'd switch to it. Okay, that makes sense, yeah. Every time I tried to open it, and it wouldn't open the lock. Okay, that's weird. Ghost baby. Like that's definitely gonna save this run. We got Ghost baby, folks. We're all good. Though, like, now that we have Mom's knife, there's probably not a huge chance that we're gonna lose the run. Ah! Black Lamb, are you vegetarian and or vegan. And I will keep that in mind in case I make food recommendations then. Oh! What? I don't care. I mean, I care about the question that I asked you, Black Lamb, but I don't care about the damage we took because, you know what, whatever. It's just gonna be one of those working the kinks out kind of runs. Not the band, the kinks. They're completely different. They did my Sharona, and my Sharona is gross. But it turns out that they haven't even replaced the locks yet, so the mailbox is just stuffed with mail as soon as I use the old key. That's a mood. I can understand that. Conveniently skipping my cannibalism joke because it's hard enough to stomach. Oh darn it, did I miss a cannibalism joke? Your cannibalism joke deserves the praise. Donner Party kebab made from only the best long pork. I'm there for you. I support that. Oh, it's greed. Oh, it's Steam sale. You are just giving me the in business, aren't you, game? just giving it to me. Look, Bumbo, I need you to eat these coins. Also, these coins up here. Thank you. Oh, crumbs. Do we go for the boss rush? Fuck it, why not? We've got the knife. We can kill Mom in 30 seconds. Easy. Thank you. Definitely want the Polaroid, because we're going to the chest. And this sucks. This sucks. Wow. I'm a bit spoiled for someone living on the US because I live pretty close to Mitsuo Marketplace outside Chicago. Oh, that's right. Did we know? I think we talked about you being Chicago folks. I think. Or that might be somebody else. Pander, how you doing, yo? I mean, it's hard to argue with Mom's knife, honestly. Vegetarian because it's easier to keep up. I don't have the energy nor enough concentration or money to keep up with the vegan diet. That's fair. And when I was doing the no meat thing, it was kind of the same. My girl at the time, she got like really into it. And because we were living and eating together, it was just easier to kind of follow that dietary restriction. She had looked into veganism, and like it was just like, yeah, that's not gonna work. But I stuck with the vegetarian diet for a while after we broke up. Just, I think, to say that I could do it. Mostly out of spite, if we were to be perfectly honest. I tried the vegetarian thing, but I couldn't manage my weird hunger pangs. That's fair enough. I've always been like really easy as far as food. I'll basically eat what's available. So it didn't bother me that much, and I got pretty decent at cooking because Milwaukee was not vegetarian friendly at all. So we had to do a lot of home cooking. And that's definitely a skill that I recommend. You don't have to be like an amazing chef, you don't have to be like a super cook, but being able to do a couple of fairly decent recipes that you could just whip up it's a time saver, and it's a money saver. Milwaukee restaurant scene, I mean, we had real chili. Real chili is a thing. George Webb's, because you really want your greasy pseudo hamburger. Gotta be real careful you're getting the stuff that you need as a vegan. Yeah. There's a lot of kind of supplemental stuff that you need to do. That's what my brain's not good with. I mean, it's a bunch to keep track of. And it's not even like really just food stuff, because there's a lot of stuff that's either made through animal testing or it's made with animal byproducts. Wine is out. I think, is it all wine or is it red wine that uses like sheep enzymes for its process? What killed me? Nothing killed me. I mean, we didn't die, but there's a really good vegan restaurant in my area. They do amazing ramen. Now that's interesting, and I would be very interested. You can't use two forms of the same verb in the same sentence, Risco. What do you... That would have been points down if I were still teaching. I would be quite interested in knowing what they use for their stock. Like the actual broth itself. Because most of the ramen that I've had uses like a pork broth. I've enjoyed cooking a bit less after those ridiculous food classes. Oh god. I remember the food class stories, Kronos. I could see that definitely taking away some of your enthusiasm for cooking. Hopefully the stink wears off soon. I hope so. It is one of those life skills. I mean, no reason to go out of your way, Pander, but I think it would be kind of cool to know. Ace of clubs, eh? Like, if we use ace of clubs, we lose the Emperor. But do we really need the Emperor? It would make the cathedral quicker, so I guess we'll stick with it. It's a shame too, because freshman year foods class had such a sweet old lady as a teacher. I mean, you got screwed by that class, Chron.
Like I'm walking on sunshine.
Why am I still holding the ace of clubs? What? Isco, please. The brain meats. Anyway, while I'm with my parents, I'm basically forced to eat meat. It's not like they force meat in my mouth, but being that they cook meals and I'm usually too exhausted to cook for myself, becomes either eat this or perish. Trying to live only on lettuce, so that's the thing. Big mood, Black Lamb. Big mood. If you're not doing your own cooking, yeah. There's the guilt trip aspect of it too. Like, oh well, we could make you something special, and go out of our way. Like, no, don't do that, please. Were you here when I talked about the food class? I love venting about it, even if you haven't. I don't know if Hive was around when you did the food class talk. Maybe, but it feels like that was like in the back. Like maybe around Resident Evil 6 stream era. Spill the beans! Oh, the beans should be spilled because this is a terrible story. I'd recommend Ace of Spades, but I'm not sure you can play rock and roll. Actually, Petty, I can do a pretty mean Ace of Spades at karaoke. There's a little bit of it at the back end that I have trouble with, but otherwise, like, I can actually kind of sort of rock it out. It's not my best karaoke song, but why would you use the nail here? The boss room is one room away. Wow. I had two cooking teachers. One was good. The other hated me for some reason and kicked me out of class a few times when we were lining up and I'd done nothing wrong. That's not fun. I distinctly remember middle school cooking class. We had to take and pass a written test matching cooking utensils to the number of cabinet drawer they were stored in before we were allowed to do anything else. What the hell, Buttons? That's... like, that's a thing. That's not a sensible thing at all. That's not what... I've never gone to karaoke, so you're doing better than me. Well, Petty, like... Mizuki, that's Honey Bunny. I get to use her name now because she's given me permission to do so. She's a semi-professional singer. So, the idea of not doing karaoke every week was kind of a foreign concept. It was awesome because, like, her voice is amazing. There's not, like, a huge English selection, though. There's more of an English selection than you would expect. But still, it's not, like, super robust. So, the couple of songs that, like, were in my wheelhouse of things that I actually enjoyed singing, I actually got pretty good with. I can bust out Manson really quite well. I can't do the screechy Manson, but I can do, like, the singing Manson. Everclear, I can do Everclear pretty well. That's on there. But basically, yeah, it was like once a week, sometimes twice a week, we would be at karaoke. And you kind of get halfway decent just out of self-defense. Oh, I gotta check back up and do the narration on Kronos' story. Why would you rate cooking by speed if you're not in a fast food joint? Ludo, that's an amazing question. And I think the answer is the teacher was a D-bag? D-bag. Right then, so first off, the groups are selected by the students, so naturally, friends... friends would gravitate into big groups, sure. It also means that I, who don't know anyone in the class, was paired with literally the only one other person who was more or less in the same situation. We had a two-person group. So the groups were already unbalanced as all hell, but that's not even the worst thing. Whenever we do a cooking class, the marking system works out as follows. If you finish cooking your food and then fully clean up your workspace, the first group to finish gets 100% marks for class. That's like... yeah. Oh, wow. I mean, they could have marked on deliciosity, which, granted, I mean, is very subjective, but gastro-fortitudinal impressiveness? Is this grading on a curve? If you're the last group, you got a flat 40% for the day. See, like, that's the part of the story that really stands out to me as, what the fuck are you thinking? I'm not you, Kronos, of course, but like the you, the general you that represents this teacher. You are actively incentivized to underprepare your meal. I mean, like, if you're shooting for food poisoning cases, I think that's probably the way you want to go about it. I imagine, like, Kronos' teacher staying up late watching Gordon Ramsay. And probably dreaming about the ways to berate the students. My class was graded on presentation mostly, so it was usually me and one of the girls competing for prettiest pancakes, whatever. I mean, Panda, it's prettiness is important when it comes to pancakes. I kept the Emperor this entire time. Just gonna use it. Just gonna be done with this. Maybe we'll luck out and we'll pick up a Dad's Key. It's a low percentage play, but do we do the Void? No, like, no, the Void is such a bad idea. Isn't it? The Void is a terrible idea, we're not gonna do it. If I'd ever work up the courage to karaoke, I'd study the lyrics to, Yokoso... Hold on a second. Japaripaku... Oh, right, it's the... Kimono and Friends. Yokoso Japaripaku... I mean, that seems fair, Petty. I don't remember what mine were graded on. I kind of stopped caring when the teacher called me an aardvark because my name was too hard. Holy... Briefly segueing, but we can go back to cooking and bad teachers by all means. As far as anime bangers, the High School of the Dead has got one of my favorite... What would you call it? It's not OVA, it's my favorite opening songs. Everything else about the show is terribad. It's the worst. Capital T, capital W with the trademark on the end of it, the worst. But damn, that opener is just so good. I think that's the only Japanese song that I can just sing. Although it's been ages, so... Oh, High School of the Dead is just, like, top to bottom, it's a trash fire. I just think that, fudge. I forget the name. Somebody Rockets. The folks who do that song do a really good job with it. Not even my first name, which was an Anglo name. My family name was too hard to pronounce. So she just announced, I'm gonna call you Aardvark. Like, that's just a... I don't know if I could quantify how terrible that is for a teacher to do. I have been around teachers here in Japan who have done that with students and needed to tell them, like, just don't. Oh yeah, Panda, you're 100% correct. That's why whenever I link the song, I only link the live version of the song. So I don't put any of that in people's wheelhouse. 'Cause it's gross. Nothing better than when your teacher thinks you're a delinquent. I mean... yeah? I mean, only if you go to one of those really cool schools where the delinquents have all the power. Otherwise, I'm gonna think it's probably long-term not very fun. Alright, let's do this. Almbo, go away. Da dwee da 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 dwee dow. Yeah, I'm gonna echo overkill on this one. I know there's probably a lot of years under that particular bridge, but that teacher should not be teaching. Oh, Abaddon! Got the unlock for that, that's nice. So let's take, say, filleting a fish lesson. How it works, the teacher fillets a fish step by step. Okay, fair. Sure, we'll get the hang of it with a bit of practice, but I don't know where it came from, Hive. It just kind of slipped in there. It's nigh invulnerable. Could do the whole bit from Ants in the Pants, but I'm gonna save that for a second. I'm gonna take like a really quick break. I'm gonna grab a bit of water, have myself a smoke. All y'all, if you got water, have some water. Be regaled by Kronos' stories because they're all train wrecks. Now, she pulls out another fish. This time, a random student is called to the front to do the first step, then the second step, then the third. Then drink your waters. I'm gonna drink my water. I will be right back. And we are back. It's almost like school is designed to fuck up disabled people and other minorities. I mean, if they had sat down to comprehensively plot out how to make school the worst possible experience for disabled folks and minorities, I can't speak for other school systems, but the education system in the United States seems like pretty much there. My phys ed teacher thought I was delinquent because I turned up with a medical certificate from a specialist at the local children's hospital, which is also the highest profile children's hospital in the city, excusing me from participating in phys ed because I have weak and loose joints. Next PE lesson, she gave me a detention. Oh, fuck me sideways. Hive, what do I... Okay, I'm gonna have to... I gotta take a deep breath after that one. Because, wow, does that make me angry? I mean, I'm glad it's behind you, but did she fucking think that loose joints would clear up in a fucking day? I just remembered a college Psych 101 class that I've submitted a formal complaint about after the teacher in class looked up the mugshots of DUI offenders. Buttons. Wow. Just... Wow! I'm not against schooling in general, but its current form is a broken system on a global scale. Yeah, like, most of the stories I've heard from adult students here about, like, their experiences in school in Japan, and things that I've read, like, in the newspaper about school. We talked a lot about education in my classes, because we did a lot of newspaper lessons, and education is something that comes up in the newspaper pretty frequently. It sounds pretty much like a hellscape. Funny thing is, I had a friend who took foods class with that teacher on the same year, different schedule. Apparently none of the draconian method I just described were enforced half as much on his end. Like, was there someone that the teacher just did not like in your class, Kronos? And was it you? Schools are designed to exert control over the minds and bodies of humans with limited power. The structure of a classroom is often that of a panopticon, with the teacher situated in such a way as to have visible power over all the students. Definite mood there, Hive, yeah. Teachers also exert bodily autonomy over students. You're not allowed to use the toilet without permission. If a teacher is in the mood, you'll not be able to look after your bodily needs. It's so fucked up, just internalizes to accept hierarchies without resistance. I mean, yeah, when you dig down into it, Ludo, that does seem to be a result, if not a purpose, and I would say that the purpose is baked in. Mega Satan. Void is the border of the note. Lower left is Mega Satan, lower right is Hush. Darkroom run with Kane? That's doable. Everything with Lilith, but Lilith is such a pain in the butt. Darkroom run with Apollyon. That's not a bad one either. But the chess with Lazarus, I think we might do that. That's like a really good point, Pander. That the lack of value that society places in the disabled, because the image that they don't produce value for society, or can't produce value for society, bullshit image, but still image nonetheless, that would account for the treatment in schooling. Unicorn stump. Okay, that's not bad. I mean, isn't that like the grounds for them to be delicensed? We'd love to hear your story about second grade. It's always a fun year for students. The licensing, that's in reference to the Psych 101 teacher, I'm gonna guess, because it does seem like an ethics violation, yeah. My mom told me this a while back. Apparently my second grade teacher consulted my mom that I might have some kind of social impediment, or was it language, doesn't matter. Case is, I'm a weird dude, it seems. Kinda interesting because I'm trying to remember like when the time frame was. I don't think it was second grade for me. I think it was maybe third or fourth. But I almost ended up in a learning disabilities class, or I think it was called this. It might have been called a special needs class at that point, but because nobody noticed that I was nearly blind, I was having a really hard time learning to read, and I couldn't follow lessons because I couldn't see the blackboard. But because I had no frame of reference, I didn't know that anything was wrong. And apparently nobody else noticed that anything was wrong. So it was just like a lucky catch on one of the health checks that they did in the school. Like, oh yeah, oh by the way, Risco can't see anything. Maybe it's a good idea to get her glasses. Or else my life would have probably been very different, because the treatment of the special needs students and all of the students were kind of lumped together, regardless of what particular special needs they had. But yeah, the treatment of those students was not great. Oh, well, I mean, we wanted to die, but we didn't want to die there. And let me just get rid of Little Horn here before I take a quick look at the chat again. Oh please, like, you've got to stop, Little Horn. I need you to not do this anymore. Oh, it's belly button. All right, what did I miss? I'd love to speak about the hellscape that is the education system, but I gotta go buy new earplugs, so I bought some cheap ones and the metal just broke. Ludo, if you've got to head out, thank you so much at least for dropping in for a little while. It was really, really good to see you. And I hope that your earplug shopping goes well. Also, I really don't want to talk about my school time because it would bring the already somber mood down to Hades. That's fine, Ludo. I'm never going to ask somebody to share more than they're comfortable sharing. I got after school detention for washing paint off my elbow in art class. That's that's a thing. Panda, I don't like. There's a missing part B in that process that I don't see. Although I mean I believe your story, I don't get it. Anyways, they suggest I take special needs tests to gauge my knowledge. Mom immediately disagreed and swept off suggestion like it was nothing. They kept pushing the idea, so she figured, fine, let's take the test, nothing wrong with them anyway. Test my brain. Apparently took this certain test, I don't actually remember it. And I took it. It turns out my knowledge was comparable to a 5th grader at the time. My mom wasn't surprised. Ha! Told you, she said along those lines. I could believe it. Kronos, I could believe it. My mom talks sometimes about how she worked at a daycare center. She had a student who was being evaluated for a learning disability. It took them forever to realize he was deaf. Buttons, you know, like, you would think that these things would be more obvious, but apparently they're quite easily missable because we're all coming up with these kinds of stories. Teacher in my 1st grade kept telling my students to give me meds for ADHD because she said I needed them. not particularly taking into consideration the fact I was 2 years younger than everyone in my class. There's like just a lot going on. I hope that your food stuffing at least is good, Black Lamb. We're all sharing school stories, and it seems like all of us have varying degrees of not great school stories. Teacher said next person misbehaving gets attention, and getting up to wash paint off my arm was misbehaving. Oh, of course. I mean, of course. How could it not be? Really, when you get down to it. I felt something I don't think I felt before. Some kind of pride, I guess. I mean, going back to delinquents being the coolest kids in school, I guess. Oh, I did not want this. I did not want to do this. This was a bad idea. This is just not smart. And could they give us the worst boss fight in the game? Apparently. Oh, we're fucked. Yeah, that story was kind of crazy to me. Okay, the pride is from Kronos, not from Panda. If you want to, Black Lamb, don't feel like you have to share a story that you're not comfortable sharing. But if you have a story that you want to share, I guess we're kind of in that spot right now, so like you can. It's a safe spot to share it, but you don't have to if it's painful. One day I'll tell my apprentice baker stories. It's literally criminal. Whenever you feel comfortable with that, Pander. Despite what I just described, I'm pretty sure I was one of the lucky ones with school. I never really had issues with any other teacher. If I did, it's mostly because I was never the most efficient tool in the shed. I mean, if we're gonna be honest, I was mostly lucky with my school experience on the school side. I didn't get as bullied as I probably could have been. Most of my teachers were alright. I had a couple of teachers that kind of stood out as pretty positive. I had a few teachers that stood out as pretty bad, but most of it was that kind of vast gray middle ground. On the other hand, I wasn't like in a particularly good spot, so I tended to think I made my school experience more difficult than it needed to be. I did do the whole put attack on the teacher's chair thing that you find in comic strips. It wasn't nearly as amusing as you would have expected. The entire class ratted me out, by the way, so that was nice. I did get suspended from school for lightly stabbing someone. It was a light stabbing, but I mean it was a stabbing nonetheless, so that was also a thing. It was with a mechanical pencil, so it wasn't like a knife. And I didn't do any permanent damage to the person. But I mean, it was a thing that I did. I do need to take responsibility for the fact. Your child was moderately perforated. I mean, Basically, yeah. Light lead-based stabbing. Yeah. I mean, that's what it was. I was not... Basically, from junior high school onwards, I was not in any kind of healthy headspace. But I think a lot of it got missed because I was very quiet. And I was quote-unquote smart. By whatever metrics they use to measure that. I mean, I got along pretty well with my classes, but I was pretty well going off the rails, I think, by that point, and had a lot of like issues that I wasn't dealing particularly well with. So, smart and quiet are often conflated. Yes, they are, and not in any kind of healthy way. I literally know nothing about raccoons, so lay it on me. Oh, are we doing raccoon talk? Because trash pandas are like the cutest animals, almost. Got stuck in an early morning remedial English class which taught me nothing because my English teachers kept failing me, both in the sense that they gave me failing marks and they failed at teaching me. No one took my assertions that I had difficulty reading seriously, including my parents, who were already warned that I had a reading disorder a decade ago. Oh, cripes. Wait, where did we miss, were there pineapples? The food teacher was the only one I had the urge to swear at. I mean, I think you've got good cause there. I got lunchtime detention because someone threw something at me and it hitting my head meant I was intending to throw it at someone. Had this really fun social studies teacher though. Okay, this is the pineapple. She was awesome. We left a fresh pineapple on her desk the day before studying for exams. That's sweet of you. I'm glad at least like some of your school experience was positive, Kronos. We excelled academically and kept our head down, and that meant no one thought we could be struggling. Button's giant mood right there. Like, that's a whole thing. Oh, be more like Isaac. We probably should. Welcome to the chat, by the way. I've been trying to explore these issues on my Twitch as well. Fair play for openness. It's a pleasure to have you here. By all means, feel free to share what you feel comfortable with sharing. Don't feel pressured to share more than you need to. If things are getting a little bit too real, of course, and this goes to anybody in the chat, if things are getting a little bit too real, by all means, step up and we can dial things down. But it does seem like we've gotten into education horror stories. So you picked an interesting day to drop by. But it is a pleasure to have you, and I hope you're very well. That's literally taught in education degrees. Now, it's an easy blind spot to fall into. Great themes and ideas. I've set up a riddle that others have been solving in referencing to false dawns set up by foods. Hail! Okay. I'm willing to run with it. Raccoons can fit into holes as small as 4 inches in diameter. That's not a thing that I expected to learn today, Black Lamb, and I kind of love it. This is one of the very few things that I miss about, miss from the States, and particularly from the town that I kind of grew up in. We were in a fairly heavily wooded area, even though the town itself was probably big town, small city. It wasn't like teeny tiny. But the woods were very close, nature was very close, and all of the small woodland animals were pretty easy to find, so you don't really get any of that in Osaka. You get the park cats, which I love. I love me some park cats, even though apparently they're terrible for the ecology, but
I'm
like,
excited.
no squirrels. You don't really see squirrels. You don't see raccoons. You can see deer if you go to Nara, although deer are not small woodland animals. They're very large woodland animals. That was terrible dodging. Also, kittens, I saw you come in, and I hope that you are very well. And thank you as well for getting in touch yesterday. Like, that meant a lot. Which is not to say that anybody who didn't get in touch should be lambasted, because they shouldn't be, but definitely a special thanks to you and Black Lamb, because it was something that really helped waking up to this morning. Greatness. Need more Isaac-ists to change the system. Here in the UK, we've redundant schools of thoughts that need adjusted. Shamefully, the Brits altered the world for all, and now we're paying the price. There's a lot there. Yeah. We, as far as the Isaac, we don't do Isaac every stream. Although you're more than welcome to drop in on other streams, just so that if you're expecting like lots and lots of Isaac, this is more of kind of a one-off, because Risk Rain 2 broke on us. But I do love me some Isaac. And I'm looking forward to my headspace being in a good enough spot that I could do episodes of Isaac for YouTube again. Because that was kind of my long-time jam. Isaac came in because the stream refused to rain. It did, unfairly. That's all my raccoon facts. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I've more raccoon facts right now, Black Lamb, than I had before starting the stream. So I've got no shade to throw there. They are wonderful animals. I mean, you got all your issues with, like, plague, but most small animals can carry the plague, so you can't really hold it against them. Wait a minute. Pander. I thought that dolphins were the apex predator for corn. What's the plan? Reschedule Risk of Rain for next week, or hold off indefinitely till 1.0? If we can find the problem and get that fixed, then I really would like to do at least one stream of Risk of Rain to see the new for us update. But if I can't track down the source, then we're probably gonna have to hold off until they can do a patch. Isaac Teddy Bear talks, helping solve the cicada 3301 riddle. Join pilgrims. I guess, Isaac? There's a couple of points there that I'm not quite following, but I do love cicadas. And this is... Ooh, Steven. Steven is so good. It is cicada season here in Japan. And that's, like, one of my favorite things. So I'm down with that. They are. Raccoons are third on the list after dolphins and Todd Howard. Oh, well, there you go. Now we know what's going on in that particular wheelhouse. Yes, lay us down some raccoon factage, Black Lamb. I'm loving it. I've also, like, completely lost track of the run. Wherever it goes, corn is not safe. Corn's got a hard knock life. You know, they rocket to fame, and you're like on the back of new metal, and then they just kind of drop off and disappear. They show up for an episode of South Park, which, granted, they did have one of the better jokes in South Park, although that's a pretty low hurdle to clear. And where are they now? I mean, are they doing anything? Probably not. Running away from pandas and Todd Howard, basically. It's corn's fault for being delicious and not meat-based. Poor corn. In German, raccoon is Waschbär, which translates to cleaning bear. Now, interesting point, Black Lamb, but, it's the same in Japanese. It's, Araiguma. Araiguma or Te Araiguma? Hold on a second. I gotta think about this one, because I haven't checked it in a while. But basically, yeah, it means cleaning bear. Didn't they do the music for Queen of the Damned? What a weird movie. I haven't seen Queer of the Damned, but, Queer of the Damned. Well, that is a Freudian slip, if I've ever had one. I, like... Interview with the Vampire was a whole lot, and I kind of wrote off Anne Rice after that. Must fly, have Twitch at 2 p.m. UK time. See you all there, I hope. Be well and peace to all. Cicada 3301 to solve. Have a wonderful stream, B. I hope that it goes out very well for you. If you're still streaming when I finish up, I'll drop in and see what it's like. But if I don't have the opportunity, be well. Take care of yourself. I like Queen of the Damned because hot vampire lady. I mean, yeah, that's a selling point. Absolutely. But consider a hot vampire lady, or if you go with Life Force, you get hot space vampire lady plus Patrick Stewart. And I mean, pound for pound, I think that Life Force is gonna give you more to work with. I haven't done a weight check on Patrick Stewart, but you're not alone, Hive. Because that's what came out of my mouth. Oh, Anne Rice. She started doing... Didn't she start doing Jesus fanfics? That's not... like... I'm not misremembering that. If I ever change that Twitch name, it's gonna be Queer of the Damned. I mean, it's a good name. And I bet, though I don't want to go too far down this particular route, but I would lay dollars to donuts that there's gotta be a porno movie called Queer of the Damned. Like, you can't, it's right there. The title is right there. Queen of the Damned film is only loosely related to the books. It's super campy. Like, I did read the book, and all I remember from the book was, like, vampire queen, but also pop star, and lots of vampires bursting into flames. And wait, no, I think Lestat's thing for his mom was in the first book, wasn't it? Because Lestat had, like, a thing going with his mom. Can you guess the result? Hold on a second. The result of... what did I miss? I googled it. I'm gonna guess... yes? There is a porno. No, it's not family friendly? Unfortunately, I'm not wise in the ways of German, but I can say, ich bin ein gay Flammenwerfen. I think that's all in German. You're a gay flamethrower. I mean, like, that's cool. Honestly. We need more of them. Are many pornos family friendly? Okay, that's a fair point. That's a fair cop. I'm willing to accept that. First result is Queer the Damned gay porn movie directors. Oh, okay. So like academic book or treatise?
Justice.
Cause that's cool. Oh God, buttons. I found a blog run by a queer woman. Okay. So, like, these are turning out to be way more wholesome than I expected. And I actually kind of appreciate that. Oh wait, was that you, Kittens? Because I apparently missed that interaction. Do I want... I mean... Car battery... It's still, I mean, like... It still works, and... I think it's just on this side of... channel TOS, so we're still in a safe zone. Oh, we definitely want that. Or do we? Yeah, I think we do. Queer the Damned was a sequel to Laid by a Vampire. I mean, it kind of seems like it would have to be. It looks like it was filmed by Russians in the backyard. There's not, like, production values don't tend to be extremely high in these kinds of things, so my new piercing jewelry came in. Yatta! I've got little black hearts on both sides of my snoot now. Oh, that sounds cool. Laid by Vampires sounds on brand with you, though, Reese. I mean... I don't know. I'm pretty touch averse, so... But on the other hand, I do like vampires. So... Yeah? Maybe? Snoot hearts.
Luck down.
GTX 750 Ti is all I know off the top of my head. Oh, these are PC specs. Okay. Then, Kittens, you officially know more about PCs than I probably ever will. So there's that. Get that psychic glamour, non-touch vampire bullshit. I mean, it's a potential route to go with. Was it you who were getting upgraded to future-proof? Oh, I kind of remember that conversation, Hive. Was it Kittens? It was you, Kittens? Okay. Oh, please. Oh, please. Nisco, stop. Oh, you know what? Like, we don't have to accept that as a result, do we? We could Polaroid, or not Polaroid, we could redo that fight. I think that's probably the better idea. I'm thinking of upgrading my rig too. I could try to find the link again. I'm pretty sure it was going to be this 2080 Super. That's like pretty far in the future for future-proofing your computer, Kittens. Ooh, Tech X. I mean, Tech X or 2020. We gotta do Tech X. I mean, I love 2020 to death. It's a wonderful, wonderful item, but... And we've already done Boss Rush, so let's just bounce out of that.
The Emperor.
I think we need Hush, and Tech X would be a boon to getting Hush. Thinking only 37X and a B55 motherboard. Motherboard, no! Basically, because I have no idea what any of that means. Are you okay? That coughing doesn't sound too good, but I'm also easily worried. Honestly, Black Lamb, the coughing is fairly in line for the amount of smoking that I do. I do appreciate the concern, very much so. But until I stop smoking, it's probably going to be around this level. Oh, I'm like, yeah, I smoke too much. It's not... Ludo, when did you come back? Welcome back, Ludo. Because my perception rolls are really strong, obviously. Wah wah. It's good to have you back. I hope the earphones worked out for you. And please don't feel like you can't do tech talk. Kittens in Hive is 100% okay. I have no idea what it means, so you could probably have a fun game of slipping in one made up tech term in every conversation and seeing if I could catch it. Spoiler alert, I'm probably not going to be able to catch it. Oh, we got a Eternal Heart. That's gross. Oh, it's the Matriarch. That's also gross. Although that fight went pretty damn smooth, if we're gonna get right down to it. We're not doing it. We're not taking the late game gamble on Guppy, because every time we try to do late game Guppy and then Hush fight, it always goes terribly, and we end up doing like 9 lives, a death every time. So I'm gonna be responsible for the first time in my life. Oh, don't like that. Which is the real term, teraflop or terabyte? Like, I know that terabyte is a real term, but teraflop sounds like it should be a real term. Like, it sounds like something I've read. Teraflip. I like it. I caught when you said you could do a TED Talk, and I thought you were permitting sentimental monologues in the chat. I mean, we're never anti-sentimental monologues, Buttons. Risco, why did you do that? Why, it's clearly bloody poop. Why? Terabyte is incorrect. There's... Oh, okay, I misread that. Tetrabyte, not terabyte. Oh, Risco, please stop. This is not... You can't take 2 damage every room. It's okay, kittens. I mean, I did 100% give permission there. And, I mean, yeah, we'll explicitly permit sentimental monologues. I think we all have a moment or two where we want to kind of get something off our chest. Oh God, just please no. I'm doing the hush fight. It's a terrible mistake. Terabyte sounds like it should definitely be a mid-80s B movie. Black Lamb, and I want to see it now. I want to see it on a doubleheader with Terror Vision, because Terror Vision is just a terrible movie. It's awful, and I kind of love it. Ace of Clubs. Terabyte sounds to me, Tetrabyte sounds to me like some sort of thing underwater robot swarm. I also want this now, Buttons. Alright, how do we make this work? I think we grab the money so we could donate. Because I got a feeling that we're gonna die. This is terrible, don't like this. Don't like this at all. But we're stuck with it. Maggie's Faith gets us exactly 1 heart. That's not worthwhile. In 3D, DVD, HD. Terabyte now coming to your homes in the newest VHS format. Would it be VHS or would it be Betamax? Because I feel like we could go either way. Right, Hive, by the way? Alright, that wasn't the donation I was looking for. I don't think I've seen TerraVision since maybe 6th grade. It's been a while. Same brain! I remember the THX intro even more. That's fair. I'm not gonna hold it against you, Kronos. Gonna go play with my dog. He's a bit bored. Please do give your dog a little bit of love for us. If we're still around when you're finished up, by all means, please drop back in. But if we don't see you, have a great night, and thank you so much for dropping by. Pet dog. I mean, dogs deserve all the petting. Even Cujo, because I think Cujo killed a cop. So, like, that's, you know, I'm down with that. Thank you so much, Pander. Betamax is an old home video format, older than VHS. Yeah, there was the, Betamax was the competing format for home movies. And, like, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, because my memory is my memory, I think it might have had higher quality, but it didn't end up getting picked up by the, interestingly enough, the porno industry. We're back to porn again. And so it died an ignominious death. I mean, it's going in the back and back here, Kronos. We're talking like early 80s at this point. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, we were gonna take that damage. Oh, fudge! We were doing so well! And it all fall apart. That's English strong. Risco no ego got Joseph. Oh wait, no wait. It's too late. We can't use the... We're dead. We can't use the glowing hourglass. Oh. Fiddle Smurfs. Porn industry used VHS because it was cheaper. That's not like that's not a shock. Oops, pressed enter key. Never mind. Actually have never heard of Betamax. I mean, yeah. You'd know it better than me considering I didn't live through it. It's like, it was a very brief point in my childhood. I think the fight was basically over by the time I was old enough to recognize that it was a thing. But, like, it's around there with 8-tracks. And I do have vague memories of 8-tracks. But I don't think my parents owned any. I think a friend's parent had 8-tracks. Betamax was before my time. I do remember those arguments, Hive, as well. Cujo is a victim of kings. Cujo is... I mean, yeah, basically. It's a hard story to read, and I remember when I was a kid, and my aunt was reading Cujo, and I tried to convince her to let me read Cujo, and she wouldn't, which I think was the right decision, because I'm pretty sure that Cujo would have messed my shit up, because it's not like supernatural in any way, and it's extremely depressing. We're around the same age, right? 32 at the moment. Never mind, just turned 26. You're all wee barons. Just sweet little kids. I swear, I need to learn how to make sugar cookies, and I need to learn how to ship sugar cookies, without them becoming like a biohazard. This is not an excuse, by the way, to send me recipes for sugar cookies, because I have no way to actually produce them with the tools I have on hand. But I feel like you gotta get that big den mom energy, and cookies are a part of that. My favorite movie's older than you. That's fair enough. I'm gonna pop out for a really quick smoke, a really quick drink of water, and we're gonna be back and do probably one more run of Isaac, depending on if it's a good one or not. Base what I draw, you could take a wild guess. Oh, I think I have a feeling I know what your favorite is. Kronos. But I'll check that when I come back. But we will be, yes, right back. Baby's a state of mind. Baby's totally a state of mind. I think we talked about that a couple streams ago. Let's see, we are back. And what did I miss? Poor Cujo. He deserved better than being in a king book. It's fair enough. Oh, church. Yeah. That actually ended up being one of the books that really messed me up in junior high school. Hive, Pet Sematary, you know, was probably Pet Sematary in 1984 in the same year. Probably weren't maybe the best things for me to have read at the time that I read them. Croissant in a big circle. Teraflop is when the hollow disk Earth makes an 180 flip, so all the people fall down. I mean, that seems fair, Rabbit. I'm willing to go with that. Do we do another Lazarus run? I don't know, like, we're not having any luck with Lazarus. Eden? Everybody do the flop. I mean, it'd be kind of hard for me to play if I was just flopping about on the floor, but also I'd probably break my glasses, and that's, like, don't want to do that. That's definitely one we want to miss on. Although, like, this whole week has just been flop sweat, and that's gross. It's so hot. It's like, it's so just, it's disgustingly, grotesquely hot. Flops in chat. I spy a fellow ASDF movie watcher. ASDF. ASDF. I don't... Do I know ASDF? Clearly, probably not, but... Oh, this is not a bad start. Okay. Book of Revs is nice. Acid Tears is good for both the damage up and the fact that we end up getting the way to kill rocks. And I'm a big fan of killing rocks. Isn't that the beep beep I'm a sheep guy? Not sure. Meow meow I'm a cow. Like... Suddenly there's a lot going on and I have no idea what it is. And that's okay. That's okay. Delayed flop. ASDF movie is basically the 2010's internet meme culture in a nutshell. Don't know if I like that. Although it might be interesting from a, oh, that sucked. From a anthropological standpoint, because I kind of missed a lot of that, I feel like. There's something on your face. It was pain! I mean, that was the last 2 runs of Isaac. Oh, good, we got an I'm drowsy. That's actually quite helpful. Oh, you're not an explodey Spydor. You're the other kind of Spydor. You're the Neo Spydor. Nobody likes you, Neo Spydor. Nobody at all. Not even a little. Not even a lot. I'm just gonna let these ride, because it's not as bad as you're thinking, just don't worry. Okay. I mean, I trust your assessment, kittens. Any time period, though, like past a couple of days ago, is basically ancient history to me at this point, so... I'm not sure I would recognize it, even if I had lived it. It's essentially just concentrated, lol random humor, at least the first few episodes. Ah, okay. So then kind of going back to, from a anthropological standpoint, and seeing what the culture was like, it might actually be an interesting watch. It's memes in the vein of lolcats and in terms of harmfulness, gotcha. Then that's much more palatable. I hate that word. The T's, the B's, and the A's all together, they just don't make any sense to my tongue. Palatable. Not gonna be able to say it. Just gonna let it go. It's a sketch show of 2010's internet memes effectively. Gotcha. We are on the trolley? Oh, the dude who makes it to super supportive trans folks. In that case... Oh, please. Please go, please. Palpable is, like, it's not a hard one to say. Because it doesn't have that mid-T sound. And the mid-T sound just seems like it's there to punish people. Dez! It is wonderful to see you. How are you doing? Up to my head in work. Understandable. And if you need to break away to do work, then what is this? Why Isaac Tears? You did miss the Betamax discussion. In shorts and flip-flops. That sounds like a whole kind of thing. I'm definitely supportive of your shorts and flip-flops mood. It does remind me that eventually I'm gonna have to go and get some wooden sandals again. Because I love them, but mine are broken. Well, I mean, they're not... They're broken even if they've become trash, so I guess, yes, broken is the right word. Yes, I definitely echo Hive's sentiment. I hope that the heat is not overly oppressive in the UK right at the moment. I don't know what all this fancy weather in other countries is like, but it's not good here. Need to restart my PC, be back in 20 minutes. Alright, if we're still about, be happy to see you again. I can't make promises because I don't know how long this run is going to take, but there's a possibility. If we get a really sludgy run, we'll probably still be here in 20. I am cold. Oh, it's winter for y'all. Right. Southern Hemisphere. Hi. Good. Kids running through our sprinkler yesterday going crazy in the garden. That sounds so wholesome that it almost needs an advisory on it. Content warning, super wholesome action. Running through the sprinkler. Do they have... Des, do you have ice cream trucks where you are? Is that like a thing? Because sprinklers and ice cream trucks are a not insignificant part of my childhood. Oh, that's not gonna happen. Bushfires and drought and corona kind of did a messing up of Sydney. I mean, yeah, I think that's probably a likely assessment, Hive. No kids running in sprinklers in Australia. Sadly, some are due to drought. Oh. Good point. That's an excellent point. The water wastage would not be something that you'd want to get into in the Auckers. Yes, but the one that goes around does so when the kids are in bed. And we laugh at it as it's a bit late. That seems... yeah? I mean, your kids are still pretty younglings, so I guess the being in bed early is not so unusual. I'm trying to think when the ice cream truck would come around our neighborhood. And I guess it'd be like around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. on a second, I saw my name come up. 7:30 or 8 p.m. That's kind of late for an ice cream truck. Recorded a bit of Acrid gameplay since I know you seem to enjoy that character. I love Acrid, Kronos, and I'm gonna check out the Huntress videos and the Acrid video as well once we wrap up here. Twitch made my whole phone crash, forcing me to restart it. Does Bezos hate phones? Is that what we're going with here? Because that makes sense. I could see Bezos hating phones. Yeah, that's like... At least for the younger kids would have definitely been in the house by that time, even in the summer. I'm trying to remember, like, how old we were when our folks let us play Manhunt all night. Manhunt is basically just hide and go seek, but with teams. But you played at night. So probably, like, maybe junior high school age, or late grade school. No Blizzard in this household. Do we really need to play Diablo Immortal? I mean, when you really drill down into it, is that like a necessity? Because I'm guessing that the answer's gonna be no. It's a Bobby Kotick issue. Bobby Kotick. Just Bobby Kotick. Why Bobby Kotick? Really? Him and Todd Howard, and they both can just get in the same boat. They could chill out with Bezos in the same boat if they just, like, never bother us again. You kind of start to wonder, like, yeah, there's the whole, like, just rich and wanting to be rich forever, but there's also misanthropy. And I think, like, they kind of they cross that line into misanthropy. I think they might be misanthropes. Those are not the cool kinds of thropes, by the way. And there's lots of cool thropes, but misanthropes, not so much. Todd Howard would find a way to sell you Skyrim, even from that boat. I mean, he'd have to work pretty hard at it, but I guess I could kind of see it happening, yeah. Even his shareholders are calling for him to get no bonus because his leadership is reducing staff morale, and that means less profits for them. Zoanthropes. I mean, there you go. We could go with zoanthropes. I want that chaos, and I want it, like, I want it bad. But I don't think we're gonna be able to get it, is the problem. Fuss budgets. That's not fancy pants. Missing out on chaos early in the run is not cool. Bobby Kotick, Todd Howard, and Neil Druckmann should all go to their Bobby cottage and vanish from the public eye. I mean, it would make me happy. I would be 100% down with that. Kotick literally could have prevented all those layoffs with a fraction of his money. A fraction of a fraction. But then he would have one fraction of a fraction less money than he'd had before. And surely that is unforgivable. I say at the moment when I realize this person just genuinely hates people, huh? I mean, Buttons, it honestly feels that way sometimes. Like, the kind of decisions and policies that these people have, you really start to wonder, like, if you've not gone beyond profit motive and you're just in it because you don't like people and you want them to hurt? Oh, Black Lamb wouldn't have... Did you not see buttons come in? Randy Pitchford. Randy and Pitchford. Just really though? What do we do here? Oh, I'm glad that I'm glad you got a chance to say hi. We are very much for the greetings. Greetings are good. They're healthy. I have butt bombs. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, crumbs. Yeah, that was gonna happen. You know you're in for a bad time when you're working for a public sector organization with a head that quotes Bezos each quality meeting. That's like... That's a whole lot of wow. Hive? Yeah? Console risk rating 2 on PC can be frustrating. Why are games finding it more and more difficult to have PS4 prompts built in? Dunno. Literally the only game I've seen give the option to show PS4 prompts on PC is Iconoclasts. I mean, now that you mention it, Kronos, I can't really think of that many. If even any at all. Sackhead. Yeah, we'll take it. Give me all the sacks, I guess, is what we're going for here. No, stop knocking your butt bomb out of the way. We need to blow up that shopkeeper. Oh, Stu! How you doing, yo? It is wonderful to see you today. I'm really glad that I managed to catch your stream the other day. I had a lot of time with that, and you have a lovely voice. Hopefully more people tell you that, but... better than yesterday. We'll go with that. Not bad. I think we can also go with not bad. I did sleep past dinner time, which was maybe not the best thing to do. But it wasn't intentional, and I woke up feeling very well rested. So, you know, that's like, it's a trade-off. Headaches and a bit sad today. Oh, Black Lamb. I'm really sorry to hear that. You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, but if you feel like you need to get it off your chest, by all means, please DM. And the least I can do is give you an ear. How's the study going? That's right, you did mention earlier today that you had some study that you were heading for. Two of clubs. I mean, it's not necessary, the two of clubs. Gosh, this run is just tail spinning. And not the cool Disney show tailspin, the other kind of tailspin. I understand that feeling. I'm broadly okay with that feeling, but I definitely do understand it.
Tears up.
Tears up, lovely. I don't mind it. Like, I'm much more comfortable. We've talked about this before, but I am much more comfortable in the support role. than the leadership position. Which basically means I'm never gonna have a career. But, you know, that's life. Somebody said some super gender essentialist stuff in the store when I went out before, so that has me bummed out a bit. That sucks, Ludo. And I'm really sorry that you had to deal with that. Oh, hold on. I missed a little bit of Black Lamb. Let me take out this angel. And I'm gonna flip back up and see what you said, Black Lamb. If rest is something you would benefit from, sleep? Never heard of her. I've been there, Black Lamb. As far as sleep, I'm not gonna say that you gotta, because you can't really force yourself into sleep. But from my experience in university, there definitely does come a limit point as to how long you can go without meaningful rest. And I'm hoping that you don't end up hitting that point, because it is very uncomfortable. Ooh, we got an unlock. And it's kind of a fun one. What did I miss? Study isn't going because my brain keeps making up excuses to not concentrate on books. The feels there. I tend to assume that headaches often mean a need for some rest of some sort. No gods, no masters, I am an MB disaster. I support that, Ludo. You be as much of an MB disaster as you need to be. I think particularly if we're going off of, like, socially prescribed disaster/non-disaster schema, probably most of us are falling into the disaster range of the scale. I have a feeling it's very difficult to hit well-adjusted anymore. If it was ever really an option and not just something they sold us in Hallmark cards. I literally cannot study if the intent is to study. Huh. So you kind of got to trick yourself into studying then, Kronos?
2 of clubs.
I don't care if people perceive me as male or female. I want to be perceived as a threat. Oh, I like that. I like that.
Tears down.
Oh, this run. Why? Why is this run? Seems to be the curse of the Isaac streams that we either have really good runs with light conversation or really terrible runs with good conversation. Now, if I've got to make the choice, I would rather have good conversation and bad runs, but I would also really like to have good conversation and good runs. That would be nifty, and I would be down with it. Yara. Yara's good. I'm pretty sure I would have learned hiragana as fast as I did if I hadn't done it as a practical joke. If it... Oh, that's definitely a thing. Buttons, that's like 100% a thing. If it gets you where you need to be, Kronos, like... that seems pretty cool to me. Chunking down a year's worth of stuff. Oh, crumbs. Oopsie. Hold on a second. Let's not die for a moment. That would be great. I would love it. Chunking down a year's worth of stuff of 6 different classes that all go in the same exam for 3 days is complicated. Yeah. And it kind of goes back a little bit, touching into just how education is structured. That was a weird break in my voice. I don't know why it happened. How education is structured and structured poorly, is especially if you're not able to fit in that one narrow range box of what's expected. Not a single person has tried to mess with me in public since I was 17, so I must be scary in some way. I don't know, Ludo. I mean, I've seen your pictures. You look like you could be a cinnamon roll. Is that the phrase these days? Cinnamon roll? Is that what we're going with? Popping off for a bit. Got some homeschooling work to hand in on our Google Classroom. Des, thank you so much for dropping by. It's always wonderful to have you for however long that we get you. And take care of yourself, take care of your family, and give everybody my love. Well, it's true, Ludo. I'm not gonna go around buttering people up, because there ain't much utility to it. I used to call myself an awkward loaf of bread. Let me check before I go all in on this one. Did you view that in a positive sense, or was this like self-derogatory sense? Because on one half, awkward loaf of bread sounds cute as all hell, but I don't want to praise it if it was something you were using to cut yourself down. Oh, very much good. In that case, yes. In that case, I like that. It's hard to tell sometimes, like, how people feel about their self-appellations. But what if the person in question was a lobster? Would you butter them up then? Like an actual lobster or a metaphorical lobster? I do think that lobsters deserve more praise, and Jordan Peterson kind of fucked that one up, because they just seem like neat animals. Oh, welcome back, kittens! Very good to have you. I do like eating lobster, though. It's not something that I could eat all the time. It's very rich, but I have enjoyed it the times that I've had it. Brain fart. I'm not 100% sure, Buttons. Like, there seem like 3 different places you could reference lobsters. So, I don't know which direction that we're going. I've had lobster about 2 or 3 times in my life. It's crazy good. It's definitely not something that I could have, like, as a regular thing. But as a special occasion, yeah. Like, I really dig on lobster. Excellent. This is a very good get for us. I missed most references, so I was excited. That's a feeling. I get that. I've been trying to get this heart in my other piercing for like 15 minutes, and it just will not screw in. Then I can only send you my my enthusiastic moral support. I don't know how much that's gonna help with the piercing, but you know, I do like lobster. So it seems like it's a very pro lobster chat. I don't know if I can't like actually get my piercings back in if I take them out. So it's kind of a problem. It's gonna make if I do end up going back to English teaching, it's gonna make things a little bit interesting. Probably not interesting good. Probably more the interesting bad, but I want piercings but expensive. It depends a lot on the jewelry that you're getting. Like, I have a friend, I've known him forever. He's an amazing piercer. He's really, really good. But he started his own shop, I want to say, oh gosh, like, almost 10 years back now. And it's been a process of him, like, upgrading the jewelry on hand that he sells now. And it's kind of gotten to the point where he's priced me out. Like, I would love to go to his shop because I trust him very, very much. And I want to support him because he's a friend. But I can't afford the jewelry that he sells anymore. It's just not, like, it's not even doable. Although right at the mo, probably extra sets of piercings are not really generally on the menu, unfortunately. Just because getting a job, you know, it's kind of a thing that I do eventually need to do. This is the slowest run in the world. What I really want is to get my tongue split. But that would be like counting the price to get to Nagoya, to get it done, probably about $1,000. I mean, $500 for the actual tongue splitting, and then probably 500-ish for the there and back to Nagoya. Plus, I wouldn't be able to talk for at least 2 weeks, maybe a month, so that's kind of a problem. Are they the kind of person who would, like, appreciate even talking about their inspiration for the jewelry or why they make it that way? I think mostly it's just that he wants to use the best quality stuff that he possibly can. And so it's just kind of working up those price lists, basically. Like, this was the jewelry that he could afford to actually stock in the shop when he started, versus this is where the shop is now. So, yeah, like, I don't think he's gonna change his stock. There's definitely an aspect of, I don't want to say respectability, because with body modification in Japan, you don't really get respectability, no matter how nice the jewelry is that you're using. But that kind of, we're not doing a grungy shop where we're piercing people out of our bar anymore. Like, this is a real salon. And it's very nice, the shop is very nice, but, like, yeah. Symmetrical kittens! Nice! I mean, mostly I don't really have money to get pierced in the first place. That's fair. That's fair, Black Lamb. I hope you do someday, if it's something that you're really interested in and it's work that you want to have done. But, like, the buy-in can be pricey. The buy-in can be pricey if you want things done safe. I guess is probably the best way to put it. I mean, you could always do like my ex did, where and I think so many people probably did this. She pierced her ears with an ice pick when she was a kid. I'm trying to I actually know a bunch of people who did that, now that I think about it. We've got several tattoos and used to have more piercings, but when we were trying to get work, we had to take many of them out. Yeah, I was the same way. When I got out of uni, I had 3 piercings in my right eyebrow, 2 in my left ear, that were visible, and 2 in my tongue. And the ones that were like facially visible, they had to come out when I got work at the funeral home because that just wasn't, obviously that wasn't on the table. I kept the ones in my tongue because nobody ever noticed them until I came to Japan, and the guy that was like in charge of our orientation at the school, he had noticed that I had the tongue piercings, and he was like, you need to take those out tomorrow or you can't come into work. We will fire you. Which was bullshit. Complete and utter. But, like, I kind of panicked because I really didn't know what kind of power the company had in that regard. And I didn't want to be out of a job on my very first day in a foreign country. So I ended up taking them out, and the holes, like, as they do, the holes, healed over. So I don't have them anymore.
Question marks?
To be fair, the job I got was dog bather, and having facial piercings is a legit safety hazard when working up close with dogs. Yeah, no, that's... I can dig that. Definitely safety first. Don't want you getting, like, any metal torn out of your face. I was gonna have 3 on my tongue, 1 in the middle and 2 at each side further back. But the guy I actually trusted to do the 2 in the back disappeared after doing the first one, so I took it out. Huh. I'm high-key going for a Jacob's Ladder. This is a new one on me. What is the Jacob's Ladder style piercing? Oh, okay. If it's something that's maybe to leave off the table, then you can whisper it to me if you want to, or I can check it on Google. It's not safe for work. Okay, we'll leave that to the side then. I mean, this isn't a particularly family-friendly stream, but you know, we do kind of try to keep it within certain boundaries. Although now I can totally guess what that might be. Please, this run. Just, what is this run? And also, amusingly, like, Jacob's Ladder is a very good item in Isaac. So I thought you were doing like an Isaac run with D6, and you were trying to force a Jacob's Ladder to appear in the item room. Wow. I thought it was Isaac 2 at first. I have no piercings or tattoos, that's fine. Like, I'm very big, I guess obviously, on people being able to do what they want to their bodies. And that includes not doing things that are not of interest to them. I mean, I did have a phase when I was in university that I didn't quite trust people who didn't have piercings or ink, but I think that was more the quality of people that I was running into, and not really the quality of just having ink and piercings and what that says about a person. We could go either way, so let's take the Polaroid. I have 8mm earplugs and no other ones. I really want my ears plugged. Like, I really, really want that done. But it's kind of one of those things where, like, if I don't know what work looks like, then I can't really go all in. Because I might need to get a kind of respectable job at some point. Which sucks. Then again, I have 2 lobe piercings in each ear and stretch them both. 20mm is heckin' impressive, yeah. It's great fun if you're a masochist. I mean, you don't have to be. It can be great fun just if you like piercings. I do want to get stretchy work done. Like, it's hard because, like, I mean, we've talked about on stream before. It's like, I don't feel comfortable in respectable places, respectable work environments, I guess you would say. But respectable work environments are the ones that actually pay a living wage. So it puts me in a really weird position. And I'm not the only one. I mean, I think there's probably a lot of people that are dealing with kind of a similar situation. The stretching process will only not hurt if you go super slow. I've heard that. I've heard that you need to really, like, take your time with it if you want it to not be painful. I only stretched my second lobes because I didn't like the shape of my ear after stretching the first ones. That's fair. We do want to carve the body that we are most comfortable with out of the suit of meat that we're stuck with. And if that means getting a bit of extra stretch on, then by all means. Oh. There's so much body work I want done. I mean, not even transition-related body work, just like straight up get metal in me. It made them weird. I don't know, lumpy is the best word to describe it. Totally worked though. Huh. That's interesting. I'm trying to imagine lumpy earlobes. Having a little bit of a... comfortable in this flesh prison? That's a good joke I tell myself sometimes. Word? I think to some degree or another, probably a lot of us can relate. Flesh. That's a fun word to say. This run better speed the up because I'm like actively starting to feel just a wee bit loopy.
Question marks.
Do you like lemons? I do love lemons. I am a lemon fan. Most of the sour and semi-sour stuff I've kind of come around to as I've gotten older. Unless this is like unless this is like a euphemism for something else. I think we're just talking about lemons, right? Lemons, the yellow orange, you know? Then yes, I'm a big fan of lemons. I haven't had one in a while, but we used to pick them up for shochu. Like, shochu, boiled water, and lemon is actually really yummy. I love lumpy earlobes with their hit single, "Carve Your Flesh Prison." See, I'm down with that. I that's a band that I think I could give some time to. Are we suggesting fruits? I recommended avocado. Avocado. Now I'm really wanting guacamole, and that's not going to be an option for a little bit, but gosh, guacamole would be so good. I could even eat it without like any chips or anything, like just straight up guac. Just pour it into my mouth. Cherries, papaya, coconut. Not a coconut fan, to be honest. Papaya I'm okay with, and I do like cherries. Although they're not really something that I get very often. Take my money. Bananas, I am not down with bananas, Ludo, unfortunately. Which is weird because I do like guacamole, but I really don't like the texture of the banana plus the sweetness. Riso, I'm begging you to read my last message. You'll get a kick out of it. Oh god, what did I miss? Ooh, potassium. If I get a lemon slice with a drink, I'll eat the flesh. However, my mother, who I'm not entirely sure is human, will eat the whole slice, peel and all. That's... I mean, I've got questions about that. That's definitely a thing, kittens. I mean, the rinds are... They're edible, but it's not anything that I would recommend. I learned that from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. About the potassium? The fruit, the yellow orange, in culinary form. I think Hive might mean that, like, in what context are we partaking in the lemon? So perhaps, like, lemon as lemonade is a pass, but, lemon as a garnish is a win. Squeeze on stuff, adding zest to stuff, in drink form with, lime, yes. By itself, nope. Okay. Any culinary form. Oranges and lemons are different fruit. I mean, you're not wrong. Buttons, you're not wrong. I guess before we sprayed the fuck out of oranges with pesticides, that was perfectly fine. Ooh, yeah, that's a really good point. No, Ludo, we're not in a... Isaac is definitely not a family-friendly stream. You don't have to worry about swearing. We've certainly dropped our fair amount of F-bombs during Isaac. Yes. And Hive's got it. The only ones that I worry about are the LBP streams. Otherwise, just as long as, like, we're keeping it as a as a spice and not a main ingredient. That's the only other kind of bit that I think to consider. This run, I have completely thrown away this run. They make orange peel candies. Really, though? It is LVP this week, Kronos. And we will take a look at your demo again. Because any chance I get to show off the demo is a good one. Huh. I am not familiar with orange peel candies, but I would really like to try one now. We're gonna die right here. We're gonna die right here, and we're gonna deserve it. And I'm gonna be sad. Oh, shnikes. Oh. Picking up the number 2 was just a... Oh, God. Fine. That was the... Number 2 was probably the big mistake there. We didn't get nearly as much good mileage out of it as we could have. And I'm pretty sure like 3/4 of our damage probably came from number 2. So that sucks. What do we do? No, Kronos, please, please slack. Slack and draw and watch movies and sleep and do whatever it is that you need to do or that you want to do. And when you've got the impetus, the motivation, the feeling that you want to go and work on LPP, then that's the time that you do it. But don't rush it for me. We don't have green bell peppers here in Japan. Like, we've got the big red paprika peppers, red, orange, yellow. And then we've got these, like, these little fiddly green pimon peppers. But, like, you can't make stuffed bell pepper with these little fiddly pimon. So, it's very disappointing, and it's kind of weird. Me to Mom, I'm not gonna stay up till midnight working. Me working, oh, it's almost midnight. Mood. We are wrapping things up, though. Hive, if you're worried about the sleep. Productivity, okay, I should be more precise. Where did we... I think I missed what that was in relation to Ludo. Give me a sec. I guess you could process orange peels so they aren't bad for you. Tea uses them too. Oh, okay. Been told not to use the ointment anymore, so they're getting slightly less comfortable again, but they're not burning at the very least. Right. That was our recap. Green, like the big green peppers buttons, I love them. I used them a lot when I was living in the States and I was cooking. But, like I said, I mean, like, they just... You can't find them. I don't know why. It's really, really bizarre. It's cool, Ludo. Red is better than green, and green is equal to yellow. Red is good. I've never had... Maybe I should try it. Maybe I should try making stuffed red peppers. Because I've never had stuffed red peppers. I've always had the green ones. But, I mean, it's not like, at least for format, it seems like it would support it. But, now I'm thinking about food, and I already missed dinner, which means that I don't... I mean, I could eat food right now at 11 o'clock, but... Okay, I guess Ludo solved that question. I guess one of these days we are gonna have to, have stuffed red peppers. I could make dinner right now, but it is like 11 p.m. and to have like a big bowl of pasta at 11 p.m. doesn't sound like it's the best idea in the world. So maybe we're gonna hold off. Folks, the runs today, I apologize. Like, just were all over the fucking map. Either bad luck for the seeds, bad play on my part, or really sludgy. So that part sucked. But the payoff then is that I was really happy with the conversations that we got to have today. It I don't want to say happy twice in two sentences because that seems like it's weirdly repetitive, but I'm happy that you all feel comfortable enough here that you can share some of the things that you've talked about. I've said it a dozen times, but I'll probably say it a dozen more times. Please don't ever feel like you need to share more than you are safe with, that you are comfortable with, but that you can sometimes tell these stories and kind of get, even if it is a bit somber, like kind of get into, I think, a bit chunkier discussions. And the education discussion today was a really good one. I was really pleased with that. But just having you all here, it means an awful lot. I'm super happy. But I am gonna wrap things up because we're at like 2 hours and 45 minutes, and like I can't talk anymore. So thank you all. I love you all. Take care of yourselves. And from me, Risco, here in Osaka, thank you. Arigato, arigasamryota, sayonara, see you, and ciao. Chunky discussion salsa. I love it.